Another good example, Resident Evil 2. Look how well that sold and did.
Yeah.
Nostalgia again.
That's probably rejuvenated the fan base.
Oh yeah, that's
Everyone's yes.
Everyone loves Resident Evil.
Give me another
and
remake, give me a new one.
And now everyone's like, oh my god, come on. And then people will be wanting 8 more. And it's a knock-on effect of that.
Yeah. And, well, I mean, going off topic a little bit, but I think I was speaking to, I can't remember who I was speaking to you about it, maybe one of you two. I might not even speak to any of you about it, but...
Speaking to yourself?
I probably was, maybe I was, I don't know. Maybe I can't remember. Someone like
needs a friend.
I just picturing Gollum on Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
He's talking to himself.
Maybe I have, God knows, but... No, I did see that there's rumours already about Resident Evil 8 coming out. That, like, Ethan's the protagonist again. It's first person.
Let's be honest, mate.
Chris
if you were
Redfield's
talking about it, you're probably talking to him.
I'm kind of looking at you, but
you're like, maybe.
So what I mean is that clearly they're purposely putting these things out there to hype up and get more interest. And
you said Ethan, I thought Ethan West.
Ethan West.
Shout out, Ethan West.
No, I can't remember what his second name was. The guy in Resident Evil. Ethan something, wasn't it? But
I'm struggling with that, yeah. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Can you imagine, like, in the Resident Evil 5 and 6 days, people like, go away, Resident Evil, we don't want anymore.
Yeah, because
Resident Evil 5, because it was so bad, Resident Evil 5 and 6.
Yeah,
but,
like, come on, man. The Ouroboros thing with Chris and Sheva, oh my god. That was a struggle, that game.
Is that the one in Africa?
6
yeah.
I think I might have played that with Bobby.
Yeah.
Was it 2 player?
That sounds familiar. Yeah, you could do the co-op.
I played it with you. I think we did the DLC in co-op.
Yeah.
But I thought 5 was okay. It was a decent action game, but 6 was awful, wasn't it? 6 was really bad.
5 went... I know 4 kind of took it a different way with it being more action. Yeah, of course they did. But that wasn't... I'm not saying it wasn't horrific, because it was. Like, aside from the villagers, like the monsters, the regenerating...
Is that the one trying to get the president's daughter?
Yeah.
Right.
Ashley.
Yeah.
So, with that, it kind of transitioned to the, like, next stage of Resident Evil away from zombies and stuff. They still had the monsters. And then 5 in Africa was like, again, they were infected with the Ouroboros virus, but they weren't zombies. They didn't feel Resi-like.
No.
6 with the individual campaigns was just a nightmare to
really
follow.
bad.
It was, oh god. And yeah, it just that was reaching the decline of the point where it's like, right, we had 4, and then 5 was like slower, and then 6 was even worse somehow, and then 7 changed everything because it did away with the style and threw you into first person completely, started the rejuvenation.
Yep.
2 being remade instead of remastered so well. And it's like that upward trend now is there for them. So I think they were very close to...
I was going to say, imagine if they would have failed with one of the remake.
I guess the only problem is expectations are going to be high now. Like, they can't make a bad one now. Like, I can't see Resident Evil 3 being bad, to be honest with you. It'll be at least
If you put it this way, if you like Resident Evil 2, you're going to like 3. Yeah. They're going to make the same.
Number 8 is the one, isn't it, where people are going to be more looking like... It's more unknown. Like, 7 was really good, but 8... We don't want to see it go backwards again. We want it to be another upwards.
I always think, though, surely to God it's hard to fail when you're remastering a classic that people love, because you've got the storyline, you're just improving gameplay mainly, and you're improving graphics. Course, So
if you've got good source material, it's already there.
Yeah, you should be doing that well. It's Resident Evil 8 I'd be more worried about, because it's going to be completely fresh.
I'm more intrigued about 8 because we don't know if 7 was like lightning in a bottle.
Well, that's what I mean.
The first time they've kind of done that.
Yeah, and it works.
And 8 might come out and it's like, can we have more of 2 and 3 rather than this?
Well, last we said, you weren't exactly keen on 7 anyway, were you, really, in terms of...
No. For me, like, I think Outlast took it out of me for that kind of game. I'd already played Outlast 1 and played Outlast 2, and then like 7 was there shortly after for me. I can't remember which order they released, but I played Outlast first anyway. So I'd already had my fill of those kind of games. And Outlast 2 went on for a long time. If you weren't following guides, I mean, you could get lost forever in that game. So 7 to me, I was maybe not burnt out, but I should have left it a bit more time before. I played the tech demo, and I just felt like, I could see that it was going to be good, but for me at the time, I was a bit fed up with those kind of games.
You think 8, you'd be more probably willing?
Definitely, because I haven't played a game. I know we're going to get a new Outlast, aren't we? So,
and the rejuvenation.
I'll stay away from that.
You don't think you'd be burnt out? Though? I do worry a little bit about burnout. I don't. 2 was great. I'm really looking forward to 3. I'm really enjoying it. The fact that they're short probably helps, but I don't know. If there's probably Resident Evil 8 maybe next year, is that too much, I think?
No, because it's going to be different.
Different perspective.
Yeah, different perspective. It will feel like a completely different game.
Would you want there to then be a break, though? Maybe a 3 or 4 year break, and then, then I do a Resident Evil 4 remake. Whatever you want to do. I can't see them not doing a Resident Evil 4. I just think if this Resident Evil 3, they're going to be like, right, 4 straight away.
It seems inevitable.
Because that's the most popular Resident Evil.
Yeah.
It's the one you look up, people want remade the most.
Put it this way, mate. If it's received well and makes money,
they're going to do it again.
They're probably going to do it.
I wouldn't be shocked to see 4 next year. Because we had 2 last year. We're going to have 3 this year. It wouldn't surprise me to see 4
3, don't forget, there was made in conjunction with 2. They were both being, it's been real, they were both being made at the same time.
You can tell because you just have to watch the footage.
So they gambled. I mean, that's a gamble. They must have thought, well, we're going to hope that Resident Evil 2 does well. Because if it doesn't, we're making this game and, So they must have known 2 was going to do well. They must have an inkling it would do well. So maybe you're right. Maybe they're already doing, I'm not saying they're deep into development of the 4 remake, but maybe they're doing like early pre-production or
I don't think it would take them long. Obviously, it's a completely different setting. It's not Raccoon City, so they have to
probably
build
take a bit
again.
longer.
But they can take pretty much, if they strip back the environment, they can take everything else from 2 and 3.
I wonder whether it's going to be the other way around, 8 in 2021, and then maybe 2022 will be the 4 remake.
I just don't think the 4 remake is going to be like years away. 2 years max.
Do you think this is a thing now, though? Do you think Resident Evil's every year maybe we'll get one? Or every couple of years?
No, because there's a limit to it. Unless they cycle back and do like 0 or 1 or...
1 they could do again.
But then they're on that... They're
I find it weird that they skip 1.
Well, 1 had been remade like 3 times already.
Oh, right,
so
well,
it's like...
my Resident Evil knowledge
I don't know about you, though. I'd love to see 1 remade like 2, though.
Maybe.
I would. I know people might go, that's overkill, have remade it before. Yeah, but not... It still feels... You go back to Resident Evil 1 now, it feels bad. It's still clunky. They did a remaster, didn't they, on like Xbox and PS4?
It's not that bad.
No, but it's not like 2.
No, but
that's what I mean.
It's further along the line. Like if you're thinking about like chronologically of where they got to in terms of remasters, and then like 2, 3, if they do 4, I've said Code Veronica before. Like I don't actually think they will, but they could.
They could do it.
But if they're talking mainlines, when they're done with 4, they're not going to do 5 and 6 again. Like there's no point in that.
No.
If
they can't.
0 again,
maybe I could see them possibly doing it.
I don't.
But wasn't the whole game not the whole game? A lot of the game's set on that train, so it's like not all the game, a lot of it, a large proportion is set on that train. I mean,
I just don't think they'll do that. Like, there's no clamoring for a 0 or 1 remake. Like people wanted 2 for like a decade. Same almost with 3, like 8 or 9 years.
I can see Code Veronica. I could see that. I think that's one where it plays most like 1 and 2, doesn't it? Kind of. It's that similar type scope. It's not. It's quite linear.
I just wonder about that. Like, there's no real need for it.
No.
Like 2 and 3 and 4 is the most popular one of all time. Like, I get that. Code Veronica was decent back in the day, but it doesn't. It's not a big hitter. Like, if they announced that, that's kind of like, you wouldn't expect it to be much more than like 20 quid. And it would be a full price release. I think Resident Evil has like a plateau that they get to, and then they just release another game and they call it Resident Evil. And then they just start again.
Yeah.
That's my thought on it anyway.